pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. The optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. How many of you can relate to that quote? I know I certainly can. Life is full of challenges, obstacles, and setbacks, but it's how we respond to those difficulties that determines our success or failure. Today I'm here to issue a challenge to dominate, to take control of your life, to seize opportunity, and to become the master of your destiny. Because at the end of the day, the only one standing in your way is you. Let me share a story with you. Once there was a young man who he wanted to be a champion boxer, but he came from nothing, raised in poverty, with the odds stacked against him. Everyone told him he was crazy, that he'd never make it. But this young man had fire in his belly. He refused to be held back by his circumstances or the negative voices around him. He trained, relentlessly sacrificing everything while his friends were out partying. He was in the gym pounding away at a heavy bag until his knuckles bled when hunger pains struck, because he couldn't afford another meal that day. He drank a glass of salt water to kill the hunger so he could keep training. The years of sweat, tears, and unwavering determination paid off. That young man went on to become one of the greatest boxers of all time. His name, Rocky Mariano, 51 professional fights, 49 knockouts, and he retired heavyweight champion of the world without a single defeat. Why do I share this story? Because it perfectly encapsulates what it takes to dominate an unshakable spirit, laser-focused discipline, and the will to overcome any obstacle in your path. Rocky could have given up 1,000 times, but dominated his mind, his body, and ultimately his opposition. So my opening salvo to you today is this: identify your Rocky Mariano spirit. Locate that burning desire for greatness within you, because trust me, it's there, that hunger, that refusal to be denied, in the words of the ancient philosopher Epicurus. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Declare your intentions out loud. If you have to, I will dominate in my career. I will dominate as a parent. I will dominate in my studies. Whatever your aim, plant that flag and commit to it, because words have power. Speak goals into existence is the first step toward achieving them, of course. It's one thing to say, I will dominate. It's another to actually do it. And that's where discipline enters the equation. Discipline is the bridge between your intentions and your accomplishments. It's doing the hard after day when no one is watching. It's making the smart choices, not the easy ones. Think back to Rocky's training regimen. That's the essence of discipline. While others were partying and cutting corners, Rocky was in the gym, putting in the work, drilling the fundamentals over and over until they became ingrained habits. That's what champions do. In my decades of studying successful people from all walks of life, I found one universal truth: those who dominate have disciplined themselves to make better choices consistently than the masses around them. They've harnessed the power of good habits and routines. So I challenge you today to audit your daily disciplines. What are the little things you can start doing differently, a little bit better each day? It could be as simple as waking up 30 minutes earlier to review your goals and get mentally prepared for domination, or committing to learning one new thing each day about your craft, reading books, taking classes, finding a mentor. Perhaps it's cutting out toxic influences like hours of mindless TV or negative social media and replacing them with positive inputs that feeds your mind and soul. Because here's reality: if you want to dominate in any area of your life, you must dominate the small arenas first. As Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Winning starts with the small, diligent, disciplined steps forward each day. Speaking of winning, let's address another critical element of domination: developing a winner's mindset. Because the truth is, most people are their own biggest obstacle to success. Their self-doubt, their fear of failure, their lack of confidence. These are dream killers, but not for you. Not anymore. From this day forward, you must reject the negative voices in your head. Silence that inner critic that tells you you're not good enough, smart enough, talented enough. Because here's what I know for certain: those voices are lying. To take a look at the great achievers throughout history. Did Rocky Mariano listen to naysayers telling him he'd never? Make it as a boxer? Of course not. Did the Wright brothers accept that humans weren't designed to fly? No way did Thomas Edison. Believed the dozens of people who told the light bulb was an impossible dream? Absolutely not. These men and countless others like them succeeded precisely because they refused to take no for an answer. They dominated their mindset and banished doubts and negativity from their thoughts, replacing them with belief confidence and an unshakable expectation of success. You must do the same. Talk to yourself like a winner. Use affirmations if you need to. I am unstoppable. Capable of greatness. I have what it takes to dominate. Let those words sink into your soul until you start believing them with every fiber of your being. Because when you've mastered the mental game and fortified your self-belief, little can stop your forward. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This is all well and good, but what about the setbacks? What about the times when I stumble or life knocks me down? Excellent question, and one I certainly can't ignore because obstacles and adversity are inevitable on the path to domination. Even legends I mentioned, Rocky Mariano, the Wright brothers, Thomas Edison, they all faced crushing defeats and low points where quitting seemed like the only option. But they persevered, they picked themselves back up, reassessed, and kept pushing forward with undiminished spirit. So when you encounter setback on your own quest for domination, this is what you must do. First, resist the temptation to wallow or play the victim. That's the coward's way out, and it breeds in resentment and stagnation. You're better than that. Instead, after the sting of the setback has passed, reflect on what you can control going forward. Perhaps you need to adjust your strategy, upgrade your skills, or recalibrate your efforts. But whatever you do, do not abandon the dream. Regroup. Reinforce that winner's mindset and fight another day. Because here's one of the greatest truths about domination. It's often forged not in those moments of triumph, but in the valleys of struggle when perseverance is required. That's where the mettle gets tested. That's where you develop the grit, push through, and reach the summit. Just look at the biblical figure of David as a shepherd boy. He slayed the mighty giant Goliath with just a slingshot. That courage and belief in himself. But his journey didn't end there. No, David faced years of being hunted by the jealous king, Saul forced to live as a fugitive in the wilderness. For over a decade, lesser men would have withered or given up, but not David. His faith, his drive and refusal to be deterred allowed him to endure until finally becoming the king he was destined to be. That's the kind of fortitude I'm talking about to dominate. You can't have a fragile spirit that crumbles at the first sign of adversity. You must develop an unbreakable perseverance and tenacity rooted in your why, driving purpose which fuels your ambition. So let me ask you, what is your why? Why do you want to dominate in your chosen arena? Is it to provide for your family and create generational wealth, to prove the doubters wrong, to leave an indelible mark on the world, to become a positive role model, inspire others to reach for greatness? Uncover your deepest motivations and let them propel you forward. Anchor yourself to that why when the winds of adversity try to blow you off course. Feed that insatiable hunger with the gut-wrenching pain of regret. You'll feel if you don't see this vision through that gut punch of regret become your ally in domination. Because the truth is, the greatest regrets in life don't stem from the things we failed at despite our best efforts. No, our deepest regrets come from the dreams we abandoned before truly putting our all into them, from letting life's challenges, fears, and doubts derail us from reaching our full potential before we even started. So today I'm asking you to make a decision. Will you resign yourself to a life of mediocrity, of settling, of wondering what if, or will you commit yourself in this moment to unleashing that unstoppable force within you, that primal, unconquerable drive to dominate your life and become everything you're truly capable of? The choice is yours. But I hope you'll join me in choosing the path of domination, because that path, though ferrous and fraught with obstacles, leads to the greatest rewards, the reward of knowing you gave everything you had to become the best version of yourself, of living without regrets, of joining that elite class of human beings who refuse to be defined by circumstances, or doubters, the Dominator class. That's where true freedom and fulfillment lie, not in some fleeting pleasure or material possession, but in the inextinguishable fire that burns within you, the fire that, when fueled by discipline, persevere, will allow you to rise from the ashes of setbacks as in progressively stronger, more unstoppable force. So today, here now, let's ignite that fire together. Let's fan its flames with our unrelenting belief in our ability to dominate. Let's unite in the shared struggle, lifting each other up. Challenges arise, pushing each other to new heights of achievement and personal mastery. Because that's what separates the dominators from the rest, our willingness to forgo the easy path of mediocrity in favor of the rougher, more daring road toward true lasting greatness. It's a decision that must be renewed each day through our thoughts and actions, but it's a decision that puts us in rare company among the immortals whose names will be etched into the halls of history and whispered as inspiration to future generations. So what'll it be? Are you ready to take that first step to look yourself in the mirror and declare without wavering, I will dominate, to start living a life of no regrets? If so, repeat those words with me. Nay, I will dominate. Let's say it again with more fire and conviction. I will dominate one final time from the depths of your soul. I will dominate. Excellent. You've made the decision that will to find the rest of your life's trajectory now. It's time to start walking that path. Remember, it won't be easy, domination. Never is. There will be stumbles, setbacks, voices trying to knock you off course, but you must resolve to persevere. No matter what, as the great Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, fire is the test of gold, adversity of strong men. So let the adversities you face refine and strengthen your resolve. Let them produce in you an unbreakable perseverance and grit. Will it be tough? Absolutely, but consider the cost of not pursuing domination, a life spent drifting, settling, wondering what could have been a life of reg on the other. The path of the dominator, though fraught with challenges, leads to the greatest reward of all, the profound satisfaction of knowing you gave everything you had to become the best version of yourself, to live your dreams and unleash your fullest potential as a human being. Now, that's a life worth dominating. So let's get after it together, have the courage to dream big and the tenacity to see those dreams through the end. Rest assured, I'll be here cheering you on every step of the way, because from this day forward, you are officially part of the Dominator class, and though the road ahead has no guardrails, I know in my heart that you wouldn't have it any other way. You were born to dominate, to defy limitations, and to leave your mark on this world as living proof that the human spirit cannot be caged. So embrace the struggle ahead with open arms. Use it as fuel to fortify your hunger for greatness. Let its fires purge any remaining doubts and forge you into an unstoppable force, because now that you've made the decision, nothing can stop the dominator you were deed to become. The fight for domination starts right now, and it starts with you. Go forth, my friends, and conquer. I'll see you at the summit. Let's dive deeper into what it truly means to adopt a mindset of a dominator that goes far beyond just positive thinking or vague affirmations. No, it's a complete reprogramming of your belief system at the core level. A dominator realizes that success is their birthright, that greatness is encoded into their DNA. They refuse to put any mental restrictions on what they can achieve, because they understand that the human mind is the single greatest catalyst for accomplishment when properly harnessed. This isn't some New Age philosophy. Either it's grounded in ancient wisdom, found across cultures throughout human history, from Stoic philosophers to teachings in the Bible. The central theme is this: we become what we think about most of the time. As a dominator, you must be intentional about guarding the gates of your mind. No longer can you mindlessly consume negative media and ideas that contradict your vision for greatness. You must surround yourself with influences, books, mentors, peers that reinforce your limitless potential and stoke your burning desire for more. Because the truth is, we all face resistance, obstacles, and set will inevitably try to derail you from your path to domination. But a dominator sees resistance not as a threat, but as an opportunity to call forth more strength. Like hydrogen and oxygen exposed to a spark, resistance allows you to ignite and unleash your intensity of effort. When a setback strikes, the victim mindset withers and comes up with 1,000 excuses why it's okay to quit or scale back ambition. Not the Dominator. No, the Dominator takes soul-searching inventory of what went wrong and comes roaring back with an even fiercer resolve, spitting adversity into rocket fuel for their resurgence. Take a look at Jerry Rice, considered by many the greatest football player ever after being vastly underrated coming out of college. He could have taken the rejection as a sign to just be content as an average player, but he instead used slightest fuel-out training and out-preparing every other athlete through maniacal work ethic. The result, 13 seasons of over 0 receiving yards of feet no other player has even come close to. That's the essence of the Dominator Mindset, turning every obstacle into an advantage not just once, but continuously renewing that ravenous hunger and expectation of greatness each day. Discipline, belief, grit, and faith that you were put on this earth for something extraordinary, because the reality is every person has the seed of greatness within them, but it remains dormant in most as dominators. Our charge is to relentlessly cultivate that seed through actively reinforcing the thoughts, habits, and influences that feed our internal fire. That's what allows us to create our own reality through sheer force of physical and mental exertion to bend circumstances to our will, instead of being victimized by them to not just accomplish our goals, but to utterly demolish them, immediately reset the bar even higher. For, in the world of the Dominator, there are no limits, no playing by the predetermined rules or accepting norms. We make our own way unchained from the limiting beliefs that shackle the masses to mediocrity. This path is not for the faint of heart. It requires a spirit of iron forged in the furnace of struggle. It's choosing the road of maximum resistance and responsibility of commanding respect through your actions, not demanding it through words. The dominators throughout history understood this reality. From Alexander the Great to Harriet Tubman, they stared down intense adversity and found a way not just to prevail, but to utterly decimate any obstacles in their path, and that's the legacy you're committing to continue when you decide to join the Dominators. It's an obligation to summon every last ounce of your God-given gifts and pour them into your craft, to strive not just for greatness, but legendary, enduring great. It will not be easy. Years of mental and physical training lie ahead of stripping away self-limiting beliefs and subverting the societal conditioning that tries to cap your potential. You'll be called upon to make daily sacrifices that pile up and test the mettle of your devotion again and again. No mistake, there will moments when cutting corners or settling seems attractive, when the dream feels too monumental and doubt creeps in. That's when you'll need to reconnect with your deepest why for choosing this Dominator path, to remember that playing small and selling yourself short is the greatest tragedy of all, because you were born for more, to leave your indelible mark through achievement that immortalizes your name, to create generational change and inspire others to burst through self-imposed limitations. So I'll leave you with this charge. Inscribe that purpose onto your heart as fuel for the daily grind. Study the philosophies, habits, and mindsets of history's great dominators. Let their journeys fortify your spirit when faced with challenges. More importantly, start internalizing these truths, not just intellectually, but at the deepest core level. Let them permeate every fiber of your being until you breathe the rarefied air of the highest human achievers with courage mustered through tireless mental rehearsal. Welcome each obstacle as an opportunity to release more of your infinite potential, no matter the setback or magnitude of adversity. Never entertain the notion of surrendering your dreams as an ops for you or a dominator, or of uncommon stock, descended from eternal warriors and world shakers who refuse to let their light be extinguished within the mortal span of one lifetime. So let those whose spirits are meek and domesticated submit to a fate of mediocrity and restrained ambition. You no longer belong to their numbers. You are forging a new path untraveled by the masses, one paved with the grit and scorching desire of those unshackled few who dared not just to dream of glory, but to seize it wholeheartedly through the sheer audacity of their relentless pursuits. This is your birthright. Your mental furnace has been stoked now. It's time to enter the refiner's fire and be forged anew as the dominator you were destined to be.